I'm on my worst behavior. Don't you ever get it fucked up. Motherfuckers never loved us. Man, motherfuckers never loved us. Worst behavior.
Everybody make some noise. It is the Unstable Podcast. It's a new show. We're talking pop culture, politics, relationship, comedy, and much, much more. Bottom line is we're going to have a lot of fun, and one of the reasons we're calling this Unstable is because, hey, you know what? At any given time on this show, we may say any damn thing. But there's also something about all of us here, and that's how we're going to introduce the show. Steve Wilson, you are what?
I am unemployed because I am unsuccessful at syndicated radio. That's why.
Welcome to the club.
You got fired. A lot of people have been fired before.
No. I quit.
Okay, allegedly.
Okay.
Sure, that's what I used to say too.
Yeah, right.
Makes the pain go away a little bit better.
Right. I quit.
I didn't want to be there anyways, making six figures. I like being home by myself, watching Days of Our Lives with no money in Los Angeles with real judges.
Sensitive. Stop.
saying.
First of all, I know Angie and Jesse's relationship is really good because I do watch soaps now. So let's just leave it there.
Oh, my God.
I'll leave it there.
Let's work on that counseling. God, Torry, the comedian extraordinaire, you are
Attractive.
well, yeah.
Like, I'm not ugly. I'm not fine. I'm safe. Like, I have a safe face. I'm like
very truthful.
I'm somewhere in between Denzel and Flavor Flav.
Oh, wow. That's a wide range.
I'm not close to Flavor than I like to be. That's what that is.
Yeah, boy. And then, of course, the very attractive, the always talented Claudia Jordan.
Our
you
little
are
sister.
You know, I'm misunderstood, so y'all can call me misunderstood.
Yes.
Misunderstood.
I feel like every time I get to know someone, like they're always like shocked, like, "Oh my God, I thought you'd be a total bitch or a whore or a homewrecker."
Wait, what?
I didn't know you can cook, and you're a lot nicer than I thought you were. You know, it's always a surprise.
You're a bitch sometimes, Claudia.
I want to be. I need to be more of a bitch. I feel like bitches are
And
winning.
you are our little sister, but you got a fatty. She walked by and that shocked me.
This dress, you know what? I have like a little revenge body going on right now. That's what I got going on right now.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's what
Trying to
it
get back
is.
in the game.
Rebound body.
What's the biggest misperception about you?
That I've been with guys that I have never been with, and I have a very boring ass sex life. Like my sex life has been terrible. I haven't had sex since May 25th.
Oh, wow.
And it's only been like 5 or 6 times this entire year.
Wow.
I'm drinking milk, so I'll be tall in about 2 weeks.
Hilarious. No, you won't.
I'm in
No,
a
you won't.
relationship. I just had sex twice while we were here.
Well,
I'm
you got an
doing a lot.
Asian, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I
That
do.
is so true.
They gotta give you sex.
And-
Wait
and
a minute, what?
Because she need her paper. She needs her papers.
Oh, my God.
He thinks it's love. That's so cute.
Exactly.
She's like,
Horrible.
like, I'm almost to the promised land.
I too could be Ivanka one day.
What?
You want the cuticles pushed back?
She is Korean.
Do you trust her meat, like when she cooks for you?
Yes,
'Cause
I do.
You do? Like, are you absolutely sure, like when she says, I made chicken fried rice, are you sure it's chicken fried rice?
First of all,
She makes a great beef barbecue.
First of all, we eat American food, so stop it, okay?
Really?
All right, let's move on to the next subject. I don't like y'all talking about my woman. This
We're
is
not
my
talking about
love.
we're talking about you, really.
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
see?
first of all, y'all all single, so y'all can't disrespect me because I got love in my life.
Well, anyone could get someone.
Everybody needs somebody.
Right.
And
There's a
by
lot
the
of
way,
Asians in the world. There's like 4 billion of them.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
I
That's
can
easy to-
use that. Maybe I should go back
See,
to an
I'm
Asian
trying.
lady.
Yeah, you had a good one.
I had a
You
good
had
one.
a
I
great
let it
one.
go because she was too nice. I'm just a nice person.
I
Well,
don't
at
like
least you
that too nice
consistent.
thing.
Come on, Mike. You're an asshole. man.
I'm not an asshole. That's why I am uncommitted, because I can't commit to somebody because I am just too nice.
I heard Asian girls' vaginas feel like velvet. Is that true?
It does.
And
And it's sideways.
Like a wet velvet.
tastes
it
like
is.
red velvet cake too.
Oh, really?
God.
How you
Oh,
know?
did I say that?
Really?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was. I like. Red
I
velvet
don't know.
cake.
Listen, I got a good woman, and I appreciate my woman.
Well, I hope
okay?
y'all get malaria.
That's nice.
Oh,
Well,
that's real.
If she keeps cooking for him, he'll definitely get Ebola or something.
All
Ebola.
you single haters.
We are haters. I definitely hate on people in relationships.
Already.
And I always
already.
get invited to weddings. I'm like, hey, I'm really happy for
I
you.
don't call them weddings. I call them celebration of castration.
DJ, you can be a bridesmaid at my wedding.
I don't want to be a bridesmaid
And I'm
anymore.
gonna let you guys come. Y'all can be my groomsmen at the wedding.
She got enough bridesmaid dresses to open up her own shop.
I do. I give great speeches.
Right.
They're like happy for you, but I get in a few jabs too. Like, why isn't it me, bitch? You know what I mean? Like, it's a nice combination there.
Right.
That's right. So I tend to go with that route.
And plus, she probably already fucked the groom, so.
According to word on the street, yeah.
Oh my
Exactly.
Wow.
As
Hilarious.
you can tell, once again, this is the show Unstable, and we are already.
That's a hell of a toast.
Real quick,
Fuck you, guy. That's why your brother's funnier.
that is hilarious.
His IMDb bet is way more
I
higher
want
than
to
yours.
toast the bride and groom. We had it all.
know you getting a good one, right?
Tell him to hit it from the back. What?
He don't like fingering his butt either.
Great stroking.
She's throwing hot rice. Hey, guy, give me a quick summary of your week.
My week was good, man. My week off, man. I mean, I'm on the road 40, 45 weekends a year, man. I had a week off, man. I spent time in my own bed, in my own living room, on my own toilet. Ain't nothing like taking the Browns to the Super Bowl on your own toilet, man.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, alrighty then.
Yeah.
That's true, though.
Yeah.
Steve, you had a good week?
I had a great week. I'm unemployed, and life has been great sitting at home. See, y'all think I know everything that's
You
going
are
on.
the happiest unemployed guy
Let me
out
tell you
there.
something, man.
You are a black man.
Dude, I watched. That's horrible.
He got a
I
girl
watched-
good credit, that's why.
Hey,
He unemployed. He got an Asian girl. That's a
chilling.
black man.
listen,
Pretty
dude.
much.
I've been in the pool, hanging out. Life is great, man.
Wow.
Wow.
And I have unlimited weed. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Nothing wrong with that. Claudia, what about your week?
You know, it's always something.
Always something.
There'd be some really great things on like one side of my life, and then the other side is like, ugh, it's like that.
Well, you're half and half.
This is true, and it manifests itself all the
Right.
time. Career-wise, like, got a lot of stuff going on. I've been in like a holding pattern for a while. Can I go anywhere? I've been everywhere in the past couple weeks.
Holding pattern. That's
You
what
got a hot podcast coming out.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I have worked with some greats. We'll see. I mean, that's why I was late. I was like, is this a good career move? I mean, these niggas ain't really working. Steve just got fired.
Podcast with Omarosa. That's why
Right.
she left.
I know. I was like, DL has a spot now. Maybe I should go by there.
For those who don't know, Steve Wilson was let go from the.
I was
No,
not.
yeah, you didn't. You weren't let go.
No.
You resigned from the deal.
Yes, I resigned, yes.
You want to comment on that? You want to go there and talk about?
No, I don't. I just
No.
I moved on. I'm bigger than that.
Because people want to know.
Yeah,
Everybody's
why-
What
like,
happened
What
exactly?
happened, dog? For real.
This is your
What
place
it
of therapy, your safe place.
This is my safe place. What it is, man, is you got to just move on with your life when it's time to move
Bullshit.
on.
What
it
happened?
is.
But
Point
that's
blank.
6 figures,
Bullshit.
though.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
6 figures.
Come
Huh?
on, Steve.
That's 6 figures.
Well,
Hey,
here's
I'm
the
gonna tell
thing,
you right
you know,
now.
I'm
You lucky you got an Asian girlfriend because your black girlfriend wouldn't allow you to do
Well, no,
something like
here's
that.
Hell
the
nah.
thing.
Get that check, nigga.
No, but here's the thing. We all know when you work really, really hard, you're smart with your money, so you put money aside. So when things started to go south, and y'all know how it is, when people start to get a little too familiar, you put your money aside, and then you bounce before something goes sideways. I'm going to protect myself always.
Was he an asshole?
Big time. I'm not even going to front. Everybody know, of course.
What's with the facial hair? What's going on with that? I was wanting to know.
My facial hair?
No, his. It's very patchy.
He's smart Indian.
Wait. I'm not gonna let y'all sit up here and talk
Oh, yeah,
about
'cause
my
that's
cousin.
your cousin.
My
Oh, that's your cousin?
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Hey,
I'm
one
not
of
gonna
my
let y'all.
mentors.
I'm
I ain't
not
gonna
gonna let
front.
y'all sit up
So
here.
you
and
have
talk
no
about my
facial hair,
family.
and he has like
None.
his.
I
So
think
his is
it's
kind of
alopecia.
powering through.
I think it's alopecia.
Yeah, he's got the one, the
think
facial hair that
I
I'm
think it's
missing. That's
alopecia.
what's happening right there. Yeah, but I'm not gonna talk about
Mike
my
just trying
cousin.
to
That's
get
your
a white
cousin?
girl.
That is my cousin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you're mad at me now?
No, I'm not mad at you.
Okay.
I love you. I got nothing but love. Hey, what you?
But
got?
that shit was funny.
You got that was hilarious. You got hate for him. That's cool.
No, I don't have
anything
hate
to
for
do.
him.
No, she don't have.
I don't.
And ain't like Mike
was
had
just
his
talk-
issues with him too, though. So-
Right. Me?
So-
He's never done anything to throw me under the bus.
So
Right,
we,
right,
Such a
right.
kiss ass.
I quit a job.
So
You quit
listen,
him in life.
we've got some audio I'd like to play for you guys of Steve actually quitting his job.
Oh wow.
Well, actually, I have an announcement to make.
really?
Yeah. After 4 years, 3.5 years on the D.L. Hughley show, I'm very grateful for the opportunity that you guys gave me, but today is my last day, and I'm very grateful to you guys, the Grade 8. I love everybody in Dallas when we work together, but I got a lot of opportunities going on in my life, and I just got to move forward. So I'm very grateful.
podcast.
Y'all can see me on the
That's
road.
what I said. I saw CJ. I called her. I said, I'm quitting tomorrow because we're going to work together. I'm out.
Wow.
So what was it like in the room when it happened? Like, was the air let out the room at that point? What
And I
happened?
said-
What were the faces like?
He didn't seem too
It was
surprised.
hilarious. No, he was surprised.
Was he? Okay.
You didn't hear him go, oh.
Oh, okay.
I heard
'Cause I
that
didn't
part.
tell nobody.
I thought that was Jackie.
Like,
and I can't confirm that because I was laying in bed next to his mama when he go.
And you don't regret the decision whatsoever, right?
Not at all. Not one day did I wake up and I regret that decision at all. I'm happy. I got my health. It was just like a high school environment. It was very childish, and I had to get away from it. Point
Wow.
blank.
All right.
Sounds like an administration.
Exactly.
Hey, speaking of that, let's make a good transition right here because it hasn't really been a great week in America here, as you know what's going on in Charlottesville with the protests that were going on by the hate groups. Let's go ahead and call them what they are, even though the commander-in-chief hasn't so far at the taping, started the taping of this podcast. In Charlottesville, Virginia, and they were met by anti-protesters, and then of course the anti-protesters moving up the street, and we have a man, James Alex Fields, who's been charged with second-degree murder after plowing his car into a crowd and killing a 32-year-old lady and injuring about 19 others. So far, about 30 people have been injured in all this protest. And right now, Donald Trump, the president, is taking a lot of flack because he hasn't come out, disavowed, and said anything against these white nationalists, these white supremacists or whatnot.
Tell me about David Duke. Just crap on him.
No, well, here's the thing. You can't do that. He can't do that because that is a big part of his base.
That is his base. His whole campaign was just pandering to that group of people that felt like, ignored or people forgot about them. He basically pandered to losers, and that's how he won.
Well, the thing about it is funny because when if it was Muslims who had done it or somebody black, he would have came out and really targeted that group quick because he goes against people who he calls them names no matter who it is. He calls them names. And he's very, very specific on who it is. This time he won't do it because that's his base.
Well, anytime it's someone white that commits a crime, he doesn't really say anything.
Exactly.
Like when there's someone black, like you said, he's quick to speak on it, and it's disturbing.
Or Democrat.
Yeah, it's disturbing that we have a president.
It could be a Republican too.
It's disturbing.
Who opposes him? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's disturbing. We have a president that he's just not sympathetic to a large majority of the country. Like really, his base is not even 30% of the nation because not even half of people voted that were eligible, and not even half of them voted for him. And he lost the popular vote by 3 million. And he didn't really win by. I mean, there's not a lot of people that really support him, but his supporters are vocal.
Can I be honest? And no one has said this. I've listened to all the news outlets. I think he bought this election, and this is what I say. He says he spent $100 million of his own money for a campaign because he brags about it. Spent $100 million of my own money. The fact checkers did research and said he only spent $54 million. So where's the other $46 million? In my opinion,
it's in Russia.
Right.
Yeah, it could be in Russia, and also I wouldn't be surprised if he paid off some of those people who run the electoral colleges. Like if you have 10 and you got 3 and you got 2, and I say I'm gonna give you $1 million or $500,000.
Oh, but that's politics, yeah.
And to turn me in as a winner, I think that's the other $46 million.
And the amount of people he won by, like even with the electoral vote, like really it came down to like 1 or 2% here and there in different precincts. And you know what? 13% of black men voted for Trump. 97% of black women voted for Hillary. So 13% of black men made the difference, okay? I'm not just blaming them. 29% of Hispanics totally voted for Trump. And he started off going hard against them more than anyone. 29% of Hispanics. Mm-hmm. How dare you?
And here's the thing to me, what saddened me about the last election. I talk about this on stage. This last election showed me this country is more sexist than racist.
They are.
And that's a bigger problem.
Well, when a black man got elected first,
because
you saw that.
Well, not only that, before that, black men had the right to vote before white women. Black men had the right to vote before even white women. And a black man became president before a white woman.
But we sit around with our male privilege.
Country.
Yeah, we sit around with our male privilege all the time.
It is frustrating as a woman that
Absolutely.
the hate that Hillary Clinton gets. Like, people a lot of times say how much of a bitch she is, like they can't stand her. And then when I ask them, what exactly about her is it that you hate? Okay, true. We can give you the fact that she mentioned the whole super predator comment.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. She did.
She did mention that.
Yeah, she did.
Let's compare that to the president that we have now, that every single day, I have anxiety. A lot of times I'm depressed. I don't even leave my room. I watch TV. I'm stuck on this. I'm very depressed. Every single day I'm worried because we have a man that I will take being called a super predator. Goddamn, you can even call me a nigga at this point. Compared to what this man is doing as far as policy is involved, about the security of our nation, we are on the West Coast. We are about to be bombed if he keeps this shit
Steve Bannon is in the White House.
Yeah.
And Sessions,
the king of all,
unknown.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy is this man has been in office for, 200 days now? And every 48 hours, the news cycle turns over.
Of course.
Because what were we talking about just 2 days ago? We were talking about Kim Jong-un.
Yep.
And we were talking about North Korea.
Threat.
And
about
Donald
ending the
Trump
world.
Having
Ending
a
the world.
huge pissing match against one another. And now all of a sudden, Donald Trump, to your point, he will talk about anybody who opposes him except his base. He won't come out. He won't say anything negative about the alt-right. He won't say anything about the Ku Klux Klan. He won't disavow David Duke. He won't say anything. And he had a chance when he played. Can we play the clip? Let's play the clip of what he said after the Charlottesville incident.
But we're closely following the terrible events unfolding in Charlottesville, Virginia. We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides.
And that is getting a lot of attention. Many sides. Now, he could have come out through Twitter, even if he didn't have another news conference, come out and basically explain what he meant by many sides. So far, once again, at the time of the taping of this podcast, he has not done so.
And you know what we're not talking about this week now?
What's that?
How Manafort's house got raided.
Yeah, of course.
We're not speaking about that.
Yeah, and they came at 6 in the morning, didn't even warn them.
It's like
they was at the door. Dun, dun.
Mueller he's going hard with this investigation. I think he's getting closer and closer. And you're going to see Trump just act up more and more and more, and just he's a master at distraction.
Yes. They got to have something very, very damaging to raid your house the way they raided his house. They got information. They got some evidence that's not.
Well, in order to get a warrant, you got to have that.
But that type of warrant too,
yeah, right.
and that type of warrant without warning, he had no idea they were going to do it. And they raided his house, not his office, not the White House, not his car. They raided the house because there's something there.
How many of you guys have lost friends ever since Trump has become president? Because I had some Republican friends.
The three of us right here got a friend right now who voted for Trump, and he is gone.
Yes.
Black guy, white guy?
White guy.
We call him White Mike.
It's funny because like even the most supportive people, the loudest, Trump supporters that I would go to battle with all the time and debate with, they've all become quiet. A lot of them can't say anything.
I can't argue with them. I don't want to argue.
They have seen the light, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, what can they say? How can they defend him? How can they defend him? What can they say?
They do the same thing all his supporters do in his base. They talk about employment and how unemployment is down now and the stock market.
Well, the stock market is down now.
But hold on. There was a guy on FoxNews.com that said, let's be honest. Let's say he did collude with Russia. What's the problem?
All right, let's move on now. Of course, Colin Kaepernick's still in the news because he doesn't have a job right now for kneeling for the national anthem. Everybody knows about that. Well, recently on Saturday, first preseason game for the Oakland Raiders, Marshawn Lynch, who is now with the Raiders, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks, he sat during the national anthem. Now, that's making the rounds there, but it's not making the rounds like Colin Kaepernick. But here's the catch, and I don't know if you guys knew this. Marshawn Lynch has been sitting during the national anthem for 11 years.
Yeah.
But they never mentioned
it. But they never mention it. And here's my theory. The reason that they never mention it is because he's not sitting for a cause or a cause that they disagree with. The reason Colin Kaepernick is getting so much heat is because he's kneeling and it's a cause to bring some kind of light
to police brutality.
And a lot of people disagree with that. Steve?
Only in America does protesting injustice become a crime bigger than the injustice itself.
Yeah, you're right.
Meanwhile, none of the white supremacists, and I refuse to call them white nationalists because that's a pretty word for it. I'm not calling them alt-right.
The alt-right.
They are racist, Nazi-ass crackers that will kill you if they have the opportunity when they're in packs of 10 or more.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Alt-right is bigots. That's it. Keep
and here's the thing. Last year during opening day NFL, I was in Las Vegas, and I went to the MGM Sports Bar.
Sound like you're bragging.
No. I was in Vegas working.
Show off.
Vegas working.
He was working in Vegas and MGM.
I went to the NFL. I went to an NFL a sports bar to watch the games, right? So during the national anthem they played, I actually got out my chair and I kneeled, right? So this white table behind me was like talking shit, and I was like, oh, y'all got a problem with that? I said, I don't see none of y'all standing during the national anthem.
Right.
I said, how many of y'all at home when the national anthem is played, how many of y'all stand at home and take your caps off at home? So what difference does it make if Kaepernick does it in the game, but you do it, you sit at home and you sit right now? Ain't none of y'all standing.
Because he's black, you silly Negro.
So they had nothing to say. But then also what they don't know is that it used to be the players didn't come out on the field for the national anthem. It was after 9/11 that they wanted to show patriotism, and our armed forces. So the armed forces contacted the NFL and said, "We give y'all $20 million a year if you have your players come out during the national anthem and show patriotism."
Wow.
Right.
So it's a pay for play.
But there's nothing in the NFLPA. There's nothing in the contracts that basically say that the players actually have to be out there. So they don't have. They can go back in the locker room.
We talked to an NFL player today that said his coach said that you had to.
Well, Jack Del Rio, who is the coach of the Oakland Raiders right now, he was talking about the whole Marshawn Lynch situation and say he disagreed with it or whatever. And Ephraim Salam, who hosts a radio show with me on Fox Sports Radio, was saying that
he
Jack
all 53
strongly wanted and strongly worded that he wanted all 53 of his players to stand for the national anthem, and this is before the whole Colin Kaepernick situation was going on.
And those are our tax dollars that pay for that, by the way.
Exactly.
And those players don't get any of that $20 million they're getting from the armed forces.
None of it.
It's really
that's the reason why they can go in the locker room, because they're not getting paid for it.
It's really frustrating. You know, like people will complain and say, well, they're millionaires. There's no sympathy a lot of times for celebrities or rich athletes, so people don't, they don't want to like kind of be understanding to their cause. But the fact that he's protesting against police brutality with these racists will make it about, oh, you're protesting the flag, you're protesting the military. That just gets people on board and gets them angry at Cap. But really, it's a noble cause.
They changed
It's a
the
distraction.
narrative.
You're right about that. All they want you to do is look at not his actions, but they're looking at what, instead of looking at what he's protesting, they want you to look at his actions. And the whole dialogue with it, and the media is at fault for it. I'll admit we're at fault for it sometimes, is directing them towards something saying that this guy is disrespecting the American flag, disrespecting the military, which, by the way, I get upset because I was in the Air Force for 6 years, and he is not disrespecting the military. I fought for his right, and many of the people that I was in the military with and continue to be in the military right now fought for his right to have that right to protest. So don't put it on the military or the flag or he hates America. That's not the case. He hates what's happening in America, and he's putting a light on it.
Look how backwards our country is, though.
And being a highly paid, rich athlete, I must speak on our behalf. That
Really? What are you doing later?
What's your sport?
I'm in the
Talking shit.
Water sports.
Kickball.
Well, we'll see what happens right there. You are listening to the Unstable Podcast with Mike Hill, Claudia Jordan, Guy Torry, and Steve Wilson. Hey, Guy, give us the word of the day, my man.
Well, check it out, man. With this platform that I have, being a comedian, being an actor, and doing this great podcast, man, I feel like I have an obligation to uplift my people. And there's words in the dictionary that we don't use in our everyday language, but I want people to kind of I want people to get to know some of these words that we use. And the word of the day is, I'm going to give a definition. And I'm using this sentence, so you can use this word in your life and be like the smart guy or the smart woman. All right, the word of the day is niggardly. It's a real word, niggardly. It's a real word, man. Look it up. Niggardly. It's spelled Niggardly.
It's
Niggardly.
Oh, okay. Oh.
It's Niggardly. Niggardly.
Oh,
so that's like 1,000 niggas?
What does that word mean? Please use it in a
Is
sentence.
it an adjective or now? What is it?
It's an adjective.
Okay.
And it means reluctant to give or spend, stingy, miserly, small, or scanty.
Oh.
So, it sounds Jewishly to me. But
Hey, wait. I'm out.
So basically, when it comes to taking chances in radio, Steve and Mike are acting real niggardly.
Niggardly with their jokes and their supports.
Yes, I can't afford
and
to
this is no, that's your sentence, though. I like that.
I can't afford to quit my job, so because I don't want Fox to tear up my contract because I was acting. That word you said?
Niggardly. It kind of rolls off the tongue.
They're more cowardly than different word. My sentence is, all right, my girl Keisha was acting real niggardly with sex. So I dumped her and started dating my white girlfriend, Amy Lynn.
It's not funny to me. I don't appreciate that right now. I really don't. It's not cute. It's not funny.
Really niggardly
it's real
right
shitty.
now. God.
God damn it.
Hey, Steve, you have one? You got a sentence? Can you use it in a sentence?
Niggardly.
His bank account is now very niggardly.
Since he got fired from the DL.
First of all, I quit because they was acting niggardly. How about that?
Overdraft fees. Go ahead.
I got 25 left.
No, first of all, it's $35 every time you overdraft, too.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Mike Hill.
I already told you I'm not using that word because I don't want Fox to
That's
come
a
at me.
real word, though. Niggardly.
Look, yeah.
You can't say niggardly?
You can't say niggardly?
I can say niggardly.
Niggardly. It's a word.
It's nothing to do with the word nigger.
There's an actor in the Terminator. His name is Arnold Schwartz.
Nager. See, Nager.
Come on, Mike. Come
Yes.
on, man. You didn't drink the Kool-Aid of the man.
Right.
Yeah,
on,
man.
Mike.
I'm a
You didn't drink
Republican.
the Kool-Aid of the
I'm in.
man.
Hey,
No,
Claudia.
you're
Unlike Steve, I'm a Republican.
you're
I have money.
Hold on.
Shit.
I wanna keep
No,
my-
you're a Republican.
Oh, like
So,
Omarosa.
okay, so you
Ooh.
drive.
Omarosa, Stacey Dash.
If there's
Steve
one
Carson.
celebrity, I could fight in like celebrity death match, except she's not really a celebrity anymore. It'd be Omarosa.
I'd hold it for you.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? Omarosa's going to be a little bit later on in the podcast. We're going
Well-
to talk about her because I actually saw Omarosa on Friday night.
Where? You had a date with her?
No date.
She got that fish market going on.
Ooh, really?
Oh my gosh.
Anyways,
That's what you call a tease. She was at NABJ. We'll talk Omarosa and
She gave
many
a
other
BJ,
things.
what?
Oh yeah, we got some unreal news coming up as well. You're listening to the Unstable Podcast.
Hi, Torry, everybody. Guy Torry.
I like that. Thank you. That's why I love my job, man. Who wouldn't want applause, right? Go to work and get applause. What type of love is that right there? I love my job. I love being a comedian, man, because I used to get kicked out of class for this, man. For cracking jokes. Come on, I used to be a class clown. Now I do it on TV for fun. Round of applause for that, y'all. Come on. I'm just saying, you know, I wish I'd have known this back in grammar school, though. I'd have dropped out in the 8th grade. Oh, I'd have turned pro early, trust me. I'd have been LeBron James of comedy. I'd have had one of the press conferences on a little comedy channel. Yeah, I'm foregoing my high school years to become a professional smart ass. You'd have the reporter saying, Mr. Torry, why are you leaving school so early? I'm like, I gotta feed my family. We got groceries on layaway, I gotta feed my family. Mr. Torry, what do you say to all the teachers that said you'll never amount to nothing? Screw them. When I get my development deal money, I'm going to buy the school and fire all of them. That's why I love my job, man. I love my job. Clap if you love your job. Okay. Clap if you hate your job. See? And it shows. That's why y'all messing up customer service. Customer service in the United States has gone to the dogs. Right? It used to be served with a smile. Remember that? Welcome to Buddy Burger. May I help you? Not now. I'm served with an attitude. Excuse me. May I help you? What is herp? I don't know what herp is. You ever go to a place and the girl got an attitude with you because she on the phone? Girl, let me call you back. Somebody want to buy something. Hell, let me call you back. Hell, well, that's why you're here. I hate that, man. I hate going to the bank. You ever go to the bank? They got like 20 windows, 3 people working. It's like 30 people in line. And there's always one bank teller who will fool you. She'll walk up to the window like she get ready to open up and just stand there. She's like, heifer, open up. I'm on my break. I'm gonna break this line and open your butt up myself. Come on. I jumped in line one day because I get standing line rage. Forget road rage, forget cell phone rage. I get standing line rage. I jumped in line, went to another teller. Excuse me, ma'am, aren't you a teller? She said, yes. Then tear her over the hell up, damn it. See all these people in line, man. Come on, player.
I got real shit to stress about, girl. I ain't worried about shit. Remember that I tried to build.
Back on the Unstable Podcast, Mike Hill, Claudia Jordan, Torry, and Steve Wilson.
Unemployed.
I
hope this turned into a job.
It's a hobby for us.
The way it's going, we might go to jail.
Right. Listen, we can do this on a D block.
We might go to jail. Forget a job.
It's all fun and games, man. It's comedy.
I think we're supposed to be edgy, or no one's gonna listen.
And funny,
but
man.
this is who we are as people.
People can pick and choose what they want to laugh at. If it's not on them, they laugh. If it's on them, they don't want to laugh. Forget that, man. It's
You're
all good.
absolutely right. You
I'm
know
so
what?
Glad I'm high.
We are having so much fun. This is unreal. It's time for the unreal news.
Real news.
News that's out there that you just can't believe is happening. Let's start off with
we need some sponsors.
Ventura, California. A guy got charged with first-degree residential burglary. His name is Andrew David Jensen. His bail is set for $180,000. This is the reason why he got caught. He went into the home and he took a crap. And he forgot to flush.
Are you
so when the
serious?
police went into the home, they went inside the toilet stool, grabbed the feces, and got his DNA, ran a match, and they found the guy.
You know what's funny? That reminds me of another burglar in Florida that robbed a house, took a bite of pizza, and left. And they got the DNA off the pizza.
Yeah.
That's some dumbass criminals.
That is a very dumbass criminal.
You know what? I hate when people do that. Like, that's one of my pet peeves. I think you should flush the doo-doo out and also the shit crumbs. Like, sometimes there's like a little residue.
A little residue.
Like a little shit flake.
Yeah.
And, like, all of that should be gone. It should be a very clean bowl of water.
Claudia, have you ever gone to a guy's house and gone into his bathroom and you saw little feces stains around? And if you saw that when you met a guy, how would you feel about that?
I date kind of like prissy, pretty boy type, so they're like cleaner than me. So no.
So they probably wiped
So
their
you
butt
got it
with,
on your stool.
Huggies.
No. My house is pretty clean though. I'm pretty clean.
Yeah.
It is.
You've been in my place.
I've shot at your place before.
Everybody but Steve.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm gonna come through. I told you I'm gonna come through.
When you get a job. But I'm in a really nice neighborhood.
But he gotta ask his girlfriend Carly first.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna come over. It's gonna have to come. I'm gonna come over there and take a shit at your house. Like I took a shit over a guy's house.
No, just
please tell that
Steve
story.
took a shit at my house one time, and
But let me explain. I was sick.
No,
in my defense.
Obviously.
He took a shit at my house one time, right?
Oh my, I hate
So
that.
then the next day, it was a half bath. It was a guest bath. Right?
When you were still married.
Yes, when I was still married. So the next morning, I get up and go to use that bathroom. I lift up the toilet because it dries. After it dries, it gets dark.
Oh wait, what was it? A splatter? Or did he have like the green?
Here's the thing.
It's
And what
worse.
happened was, I lift up the toilet, and it looked like his ass sneezed.
So we had the green apple splatters.
Look, let me tell you, it looked like he took a paintbrush, dipped it in some liquid doo-doo, and just started, It was
You wanna know
shit
what's sad?
spreckles everywhere.
But you wanna know what's sad? That's the second time that happened in my life.
Really?
Like one time I was a kid and I stayed the night because we didn't have a lot of money, so I used to have to sleep over some of our friends' house because you eat over there. And then one time my neighbor, who was Uncle Joe, they woke me up and they came in the bathroom. He was just standing there shaking his head like, go in there and clean it. And I was like, what? And I don't know. It was on the wall. How does it get on the wall?
Get on the wall?
So you take like third world shit.
Yeah.
I got another question.
Okay.
Have anyone ever shitted on themselves?
Oh, plenty of times.
Yeah.
Came
when I
close
was-
once. I barely made it. Ran in the house.
I was running home from school when I was 7 years old, and it just came right down my, right down my pants. 7.
Okay, as an adult.
No,
No,
not
19.
as an adult.
I pissed
19.
the bed several times as
think
an
you
I
adult.
used to wet the bed too. But I shitted on myself as an adult twice, like when I was in my 30s.
Well, no,
when
not
you was in your
then.
30s?
The first time, Jack in the Box came out. This has to be like
That's what- that's
well,
stop
that-
right
late
there.
that was
90s.
rough. Mhm.
Jack in the Box came out with these jalapeno poppers. And I was hungry as hell. I ate a bunch of them and drank some coffee. And coffee makes me go. And so I was driving home, and I thought I could hold it, right? And I get in my
can't
garage,
hold
I
doo-doo.
parked. Let me tell you something,
No, I
man.
ain't
I
gonna-
got out. I thought I made it because I made it home and parked. Got out my car. I got halfway up the steps, and like lava coming
Like
down my
the
leg.
bridesmaid, you just stopped in the middle of the street.
No, it didn't. I mean, I just started walking. Ain't no sense in running now.
I mean, well, at least you were at home. You weren't out and about.
Right.
You had made it home
Well,
already.
well,
Yeah.
the second time,
Wow.
I was. You all probably know. I don't know.
It's like a habit.
I was in the movie Pearl Harbor, right?
Mm-hmm,
So there's a scene in Pearl Harbor where when the Arizona gets
Bragging.
bombed, we're underground, like we're underwater swimming. So they had to teach me scuba diving, right? So
Oh no, you did
You
not.
shit in the
go.
ocean?
no. They taught me scuba diving. So before we shot the movie, we had to go to a pool, and a scuba dive instructor taught us how to scuba dive. So the night before, I drank a lot, right?
It's a long-ass story.
Got up the next morning. Hold up. Got up the next morning.
We're out of time.
Had something on my stomach. I ate
Tune in
I ate a
next week.
bran muffin. I had a scuba uniform on. A scuba
Wow.
uniform, it's hard to get off, and I couldn't. I was in the pool. and
You
I couldn't get
shitted
out.
in the uniform?
in the uniform and the pool.
Yeah, by the time you finished that story, I already took a shit and came back. I went to the bathroom,
I've
took a shit, and came
Never
back.
shat on myself, but I pee the bed with my ex-boyfriend. But I
With-
do
with-
one man.
With the ex-boyfriend in the room?
Yeah, but we were together 4
Did you
years.
pee or did you squirt?
No, I peed. I never squirted.
Did he like it?
You
Though?
never
No, squirting is bullshit. You guys, that's a
It's
girl's
not.
peeing on you. Y'all be like, oh, I made a squirt. No, the bitch pissed on you. She has a very weak bladder. Y'all be all
No, 'cause it's different
Yo,
colors. It's different
sure
colors.
it
Different
is.
colors.
Sure it is.
Steve, you had a girlfriend that squirted, right? And you said
A
you had to
lot.
get some pads.
No, what you do is, see, I went online because you go to these message boards and you get the wee-wee pads.
Oh my god.
That you use for dogs?
Right.
Wow.
So, because you can save a lot of money. You get 25 for like $4.
I've seen that girl.
So I
So,
was
she qualifies.
So
I
was in-
warn men
I was in PetSmart, and then
Anyways, I warned guys. I said, look, if we go long term, listen, it might happen because I never sleep. So when I do sleep, I sleep deeply. I have a dream. I'm looking for a bathroom. In my dream, I have class. I won't go on the outside.
that's why you single. You a pisser.
That's not why.
You like R. Kelly. What the
No, guys, you guys like that freaky shit.
I know.
Oh, they wrapping me up.
All right.
They wrapping me up.
Enough.
Let's move on to the next story. Hey, have you guys heard about sex robots? They're coming.
That's marriage.
If you haven't heard of no, they're coming. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I tell a joke?
Look at Mike making jokes.
That's marriage.
Some are already shipping out. A company in California actually sells about 600 a year worldwide. But a 2016 study in Germany found that 40% of the 263 heterosexual men that they surveyed could imagine using one. Now, women y'all got devices.
Yeah, we do.
Mechanical devices. Guy, Steve, could you ever see yourself if you didn't have a woman? Of course, we know you're happy.
Well, no, before I got with my woman, I used to be a regular customer with Women of the Night, so I wouldn't use.
You used to pay hoes?
Yeah.
What's the most you paid, and what's the high and low end?
No, not much. I would never spend over $150.
50 roses.
Never over 100.
No, over $150.
So you had cheap hoes.
Yeah.
What
What was you like in Brazil?
Oh my
Strawberries.
God.
Dominican
Seriously, man. Did you wrap up? Seriously? Don't touch my hand.
Always wrap up.
No, tell the truth. I think he went raw dog.
I would never go raw in a
Never
prostitute. I never went raw in a prostitute or a stripper in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But you brought one home one time.
Oh yeah, I did. Okay, that one time.
You brought one.
Okay, so let me explain. Okay, so one time I went raw in a prostitute, but let me explain.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That was by accident.
I have that package.
Because
How
we
does
was
that happen
dating.
on accident?
Okay, you were dating.
I used to open up for Brian McKnight on the road, and I met this girl,
Name drop.
and we started.
Name drop.
Really, ain't this the dude that just talk about Pearl Harbor? But I digress. Listen,
That's true.
look at her over. She got her whole perfume line over there judging me. But listen,
Wine.
wine. I'm sorry.
And
You got perfume and lipstick. Listen, but anyway, so I was dating this girl, and we got to the point where I was like, I really dig her, so I try to have her move in with me.
Quick.
Yeah, I do.
Wait,
So
she was a hooker?
I didn't know that at the time. So me and my boys moved. We went to Ohio and got her. I moved her in with me. And the day she moved in, we had sex on the couch. Just the God's honest truth. She started crying. And then she told me she was a prostitute. She was a former prostitute, former crack addict.
Damn.
And she had 3 felonies and shouldn't be there.
Damn. You show them how to pick them.
Is that the chick that saw your dick on stage?
No, that was another. How'd you hell you know that?
Oh wow, tell that story. You told the most embarrassing moment that you've had as a comedian. You told
Yo, that's
me
crazy.
Do you send dick pics? Does anyone here send dick pics, by the way?
Never.
I have.
I've only done it a couple of times because you get a lot of pressure. Because if you don't send them, they
No
won't send you no
faces,
more
though.
coochie pics.
You shouldn't do a face. I've never sent a nude.
So no,
Well,
that's crazy.
I can't send a file that big. Go ahead. What'd you say?
No, I was
Wow.
actually on the road with Brian
I was
McKnight,
bragging.
and I never.
I heard some stories.
About.
Go ahead.
About who?
So-
Steve or Mike?
Mike, go ahead.
Really?
I
I was
don't
trying to
wanna
hook
hear
up with my
about
girl. Oh, sorry. Cut you off.
Did we digress?
No, I ain't saying nothing. No.
Sorry, I was trying to pay attention, but it was really hard.
Yes.
Finish the dick story on stage.
No, basically, I never wore
Wow.
underwear. For like in the '90s, I didn't wear underwear, and I used to wear a
Nasty.
suit. And I like my boys to be free.
But don't you
anyway.
chafe? Like,
No,
I used to wear that with drawers too. But go ahead.
You
Steve.
lotion them, But anyway,
Coconut oil is better because if
Right.
she want to suck, then she can taste it. But go ahead.
wow.
See, this dude is preaching right here. But anyway, I ripped my pants and I was on stage and I sat down and I actually heard this lady in the front row say, bitch, that's his dick. And I was like, so I went on to the next joke, but I paused because I was like, what? And when I looked down, I swear on God, I looked down, my head was sticking out of the hole and I stood up as fast as I could and I started sweating and shit. It was crazy.
This is you all when Steve used to be overweight. Steve has lost a lot of weight
you
now,
have lost
but
a
this
lot
is
of
when he
weight.
was overweight.
So you was fat, your dick was out. So you like a recipe for tricking. I would see you like, oh, he was someone that would like
There's
to
a little
trick.
squirrel. There's a squirrel sticking out the hole.
You guys have any embarrassing sexual stories?
It was a whack-a-mole. It's like a
I-
whack-a-mole.
I have a sex story that didn't go well. Didn't go over.
What happened?
Well,
Cocktail hour. Cocktail hour.
sorry, am I out of turn right now?
Yeah,
Cocktail hour. Tell your cock
So,
stories.
seeing this guy, right? He was a thought, whatever. But he was, anyways, good
How
looking.
are men thoughts?
Trust me, there are male thoughts, and we'll get into that over the course of this podcast.
Because we host too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
we are. No,
So,
how it used to be. No,
I want
no,
to do like a little fantasy, like a little rapey fantasy, a little,
Oh my God.
takeover kind of, a little rapey.
Look,
I told him
a little rapey Bill Cosby somewhere like, I told you, it's nothing wrong
it
with
wasn't
it.
We
full
are
on-
going to jail.
Listen, it wasn't full on rape, and I don't listen. As a woman, the only woman on the show, I'm not advocating rape. Of course not. It's
Right,
it's
of
a
course.
crime. It's not right.
Right.
But with your dude, if you want to like spice things up, it is fun to do like a little no, kind of like I said. I'm
You
gonna.
do have on a choker.
I do. I like being choked. Anyways, I told him, I said, just be a little forceful. Like I'm a like say no, and you just kind of take it, okay? He's like, all right, bet. So I've been working out. I'm not that young anymore, so we're like doing it, and I got 2 Charlie horses in both legs at the same time. So in the middle of it, I was like, no, for real, no, I'm not playing stop.
Old ass bitch.
So and he kept going, and I guess he thought I was acting like really good. Anyways, I was fucked up for like 3 days.
No, for real, it hurts. He's like, yeah, baby.
He was like, I am doing it. Yeah,
But you
that's
know what,
the
though?
sex fantasy that went bad.
There's a lot of women who are into that type of fantasy, though.
You know what? It's bad though.
It's bad, but there's a lot of women who like that. That's why, I mean, if you look at even like being whores. Like you look at on Halloween, most of the costumes are like a whore, sexy nurse, or something. So that fetish, the fantasy is there in a lot of women.
Fantasy is supposed to be things that you don't really do or that you're not really for. That's what makes it.
I like women that have fetishes with guys who come in 3 minutes. That's what women I like.
Oh, you last that long? Gee. Hey, one thing about that on that the whole rape tip, the sex robots, one is called Frigid Farah. And she is somebody that is used to simulate rape, so she doesn't give it up easily. So it's like,
Does it look like Claudia?
Oh my God! Wow.
You know what's crazy? They
They
don't
should
look
change
like
the name.
Claudia, but they made one that looked like Scarlett Johansson, and she actually sued them.
Really?
But you can, if you order, you can give them a picture, and they can make the face look
That'd be
like
weird though. Like if someone ordered a sex robot that they wanted to rape, it's my picture.
Would you be if somebody
Flattered?
ordered a robot that looked like you, would you be flattered? Would you feel weird? How would you feel about that?
A little bit of both, because I do have a little sick side.
If you order one with precious, you have to pay more for more material.
Now we're fat shaming. Look at us. We are all
She's losing weight though.
One more story, and there's always something weird that comes out of Florida.
Always.
And the guy, this is happening in Florida. There was some noise that was being made up in an attic. And someone's son kept saying, hey, I'm going to go check it out, They thought it was rats. They heard the noise for 2 years. Finally, the son checked it out after 2 years. And when he went up there in a crawl space, he found a 6-foot boa constrictor.
What?
6-foot boa constrictor. 6-foot boa constrictor. They said it may have come out of a tree and gotten down to like a crack or whatever and got into the house. My whole thing is they thought it was rats. Do they have that many damn rats in their damn house that the boa constrictor was eating the rats, and that's how the boa constrictor stayed alive for 2 years?
That is nuts.
Yeah,
that is nuts.
6 feet. Yeah.
The family probably thought they stuck grandma up there and forgot about it. Waiting on the bitch to die so they get the inheritance.
Anybody seen Nana?
One more week.
Ask grandma upstairs all that noise. Just put a plate up there. She'll be all right.
But you know what's funny? That's just like white
The
people.
snake ate the food and grandma.
But that's just like white people. They didn't. Why wouldn't you go up there? You heard that noise all the time. I had a friend.
I'm surprised actually, because usually white people go towards the noise. They
No. I had a friend.
Hello?
Becky, I hear hissing. Let's go towards it.
This is a true story. I had a friend who came home from work and just saw a stranger sleep on his couch. So he didn't want to bother him, so he went in the room and was being quiet. So his roommate comes home, sees the stranger on the couch, don't bother him. He go in his room. Both of them assume that this dude is with them. So they both in their room chilling, hear him out there making a bunch of commotion, but they leaving him alone thinking that the friend is out there partying with him. He was robbing them blind.
Wow.
He took their couch TV, like laptops, all their money.
Damn.
That's what they get.
That sounds like half baked.
Wow.
That happened to half baked?
No.
Sounds like some of my ex-boyfriends.
They rob you?
You got some dumbass friends, Steve.
Claudia got more ex-boyfriend problems than I got women problems, to be honest with you.
No. Y'all equivalent.
I have a lot of short-term relationships.
It's
like
the
that.
light-skinned ones. You know
Once y'all
that?
get y'all troubled ass together, then just get it over.
Hell no.
No, man.
That baby come out look like
That's my
Data
girl. I
from
love
Star Trek.
Claudia. That's my girl, but you know what? We'd probably kill each other.
And then I would talk shit about him on the radio.
Yeah.
And they baby would come out looking like
and
Tommy
you've heard
from
her
Power.
tongue already. She did try to hook me up one time.
I've been
though.
knowing Claudia longer too, so I gotta take her side, Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
what?
I've heard your balls clap, so we're friends.
You heard guys' balls clap.
Everyone's heard.
Everyone's heard his balls.
See, I have a little penis, but I have big balls. I'm built like a whistle.
You know what? Maybe.
But you can blow on it, Claudia.
You know what? We
Wow.
gotta kick you out of the community, man. As a matter of fact, let's bring that to. It's called Get Out. It's
No.
What do we?
It's called the Neighborhood Watch.
Neighborhood
Oh, the
Watch.
Neighborhood Watch.
Yeah,
Okay, we
yeah.
changed it. Okay.
Yeah, we was talking about the movie
We're-
Get Out.
we was gonna get sued?
Right.
I know, right?
Right, we was talking about the movie Get Out, but we're gonna change it to Neighborhood Watch, and this is where I am going to kick people out of our neighborhood who are holding us back. And, well, I'm not going to hold. You guys are going to vote.
Okay.
I'm going to give you two people, and then you guys are voting. Today we're going to have our good friend, Mr. Sheriff Clark, out of Minneapolis. No, Minnesota, right? Minneapolis,
Yeah,
Minnesota.
I thought he was in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Yeah.
There it is.
Milwaukee.
Okay.
Your hateful sheriff, your grateful, hateful David A. Clark. You know who that jerk is, right?
Yeah,
David A.
everybody-
Clark.
Yeah, exactly.
So this fool, the reason he's on the list of the Neighborhood Watch is because this fool actually tweeted this, and I want you to read this. Listen to this very carefully. He said, "I'm proud of real Donald Trump's statement condemning violence in Charlottesville. Very presidential. He didn't take sides like Obama did in the Ferguson riot."
Wow.
Like, what sides, man? What are you talking about?
Are you serious?
You got a bunch of bigots, KKK, white nationalists talking about hating and dividing. What sides?
He's Uncle
the
Ruckus.
Confederate flags.
And then the white supremacists issued a statement saying that they were happy that Donald Trump did not go against them publicly.
Right.
It's just amazing.
And David Duke saying that their agenda is being, pushed forward with Donald Trump in office.
Right.
His prophecy, yes.
It's the reason we elected him.
Right. So then the next one, he tweeted this. This is your great buddy. All law enforcement knows real Donald Trump has our backs. Judge Janine from Fox News, y'all know her, always talking garbage, and I agree. It's not like the old days.
Wow.
And wasn't he up for a cabinet position in the White House?
Yeah, and he withdrew his name, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Just a little background on him. Would you like some information on that?
Yes, please. Tell us a little more.
So 4 people have died in his jail, including a newborn baby.
What?
The jury awards $6.7 million to a woman alleging repeated rapes by guard under David Clark in the county jail. That's one thing. Another incident happened where water was kept from a mentally ill inmate for 7 days before he died of dehydration.
Wow.
And
David
again, the
Clark.
4 people. Yes, David Clark. He is a self-hating. Well, he's a black-hating Negro. He hates black people.
Right.
He's very clearly
Fox
jealous.
News regular.
Very jealous of President
He's
Obama.
Uncle Ruckus.
Yes, he is.
And he has a very dark look in his eye. Like he's just.
Look at that Charles Manson, Casey Anthony, Ron Artest look.
He does.
All of them together.
He's just
So
kinda
that
off a
right
little
there,
bit.
that
Love
right
Ron
there
Artest.
is our
I love
first.
Ron.
That's our way. We ain't gonna talk on Men of World Peace. That's the first brother I want to put on the list on our neighborhood watch.
Got
Now
it.
the next one is a little bit more different for me because it's an actual black person who shot a black cop, and we have the audio. Listen to this right
If
here.
you don't stop, so I'm gonna tase you. I'm not playing with you. Take your hands out your pocket. Take your hands out your pocket. Take your hands out your pocket. Shots
So who's worse? Who's worse?
Yeah, so in this video, you see the cop pulling up, and he's got eyeglass cams
Right. He's
on.
going on a
And
call
he's
where
going
there
on
was
call,
a robbery.
and he see this guy walking through the neighborhood just to kind of give you a visual, and he's got his hands in his pocket, and
Yes.
he's got the black, and you heard him saying, take your hands out your
He
pocket,
gave
take your hands out
plenty
your
of
pocket.
chances.
Several
The
times.
guy turns around, so he heard him, and he saw
Yes.
the cop
Yeah.
holding out a taser, and he got really close on him. It didn't tase him, anything like that, and all of a sudden, this guy, what's his name, actually?
His name is Malcolm Orr.
Malcolm Orr actually turns around, pulls out a gun, and shoots him basically at point blank range about 4 times, including hitting him in the neck one time.
So I'm on a neighborhood watch. Who do you guys think is worse? I'm going with Malcolm Orr because he actually did a crime. And I don't get me wrong, babies dying in jail and all the stuff that we know that Mr. Clark has done is horrible. But I'm going to go with Malcolm Orr because he's perpetuating black-on-black crime.
And also the cop's wife beat the backup to the crime scene.
And that's the crazy thing. It took 7 minutes for backup to get there.
Well, when it's a black cop,
and
they're
this
not
is
gonna
a
rush.
cop being shot, right?
It's a black cop, so then there's no rush.
The entire
But did you
county
but
comes
listen,
when a
if you
cop
listen
gets
to the
shot.
whole tape, listen to backup. All you hear them, what am I going into? They're more worried about is the
Themselves.
guy there still on the scene shooting instead of responding to help.
Yeah, how does your girlfriend beat the backup to the scene?
Had to be a black woman.
I personally,
Yeah, she was.
this is my thing. I say we go to Home Depot in a pickup truck, pick up some workers, back into Sheriff Clark's neighborhood, and move them out.
I'm going with Sheriff Clark because
That was so racist. It was beautiful.
I say Sheriff Clark because he's in a position of power.
Exactly.
And he has a position of power, and that's worse than. I mean, I don't want to see any cop get shot. Like
Right,
that.
right, of course.
That was wrong. And prayers
Right,
go
of
out
course.
to the officer in that
He
case.
lived, he lived,
He
he
lived.
did.
Great, great. But Sheriff Clark is in a position of power, so that's why he needs to be out the community.
Okay, so
Out
that's
the
one.
neighborhood.
You forced
CJ?
Sheriff Clark forced a pregnant woman to give birth in shackles, violating her constitutional rights. He denied water from someone that's entrusted in his care and his custody. So yeah, he's paid by our tax dollars, and he's basically torturing people because he's an asshole.
So you want to back the truck up in his neighborhood? Ooh, ooh.
All right, so you got
That's two
for
Clarks.
sure. I'm with you, Steve. I'm gonna go with Malcolm Orr only because Sheriff David Clark never wanted to be in our neighborhood. He's not in our neighborhood to begin with. He doesn't want to be
he
in
ain't
our
with us.
community.
I see your neighborhood, Mike. I think he's in your neighborhood.
He's in the house, if you know what I mean, in the mansion, in the slave
He
quarters.
live
if
by
you're in the
you and
plantation.
Claudia. I live in the hood. Me and Guy on the other side of the Mason
We
Dixon
definitely don't
line.
live. We definitely
But
we live by
the
water
main,
and seagulls.
Well, we do. We
And
live in the marina.
seagulls.
Yeah, we live by the water.
We
So
got
seals.
pigeons.
Claudia and I, We have a very high
I got
tax
pigeons
bracket.
and water bugs by
But
my house.
the main reason I want Malcolm Moore out of the neighborhoods because now when they look at people when talking about police brutality and you're
That's what
talking
I was
about
saying.
how police are already afraid of the community and whatnot and it's almost like justification for them to do something.
I was thinking that too.
To black men in the streets because they're feeling like they're fearful for their lives. And this man right here basically just gave them a poster child to go to when it comes to giving them an excuse to shoot black men in the streets.
Okay, so you and Mike are saying Mike or out the neighborhood.
But I remember my vote don't count. I'm like Puerto Rico.
No. Your vote count. It counts.
Yep.
So, and Claudia and I are Surf Clark. So let's go to the phones and see what our listeners who they want to vote to break this tie.
All
right, we got a couple on the line right now. Let's go to line one. Salvatore in West Plano. You're on Unstable.
Well, it's great to talk to you guys. How's your day going?
Good.
So good, Salvatore.
Who do you want to kick out of the neighborhood?
He's in our neighborhood.
Well, before I opine on the controversy, I would like to say three things, if you'll allow me.
Okay.
Shoot.
I've been told that the day you're born, you are handed or told you're given a name and a race and a religion and a nationality. Then you spend the rest of your life defending that fake identity that you didn't earn and you didn't select, you were just given it. It's a divide and conquer technique. I believe that our bodies are just physical vessels housing eternal souls, and at the soul level, we are all the same. And all this fighting and bickering for the skin color of our temporary avatar that just is an avatar allowing us our soul to experience this third dimension temporally is ridiculous. So I refuse to answer your question on the grounds that...
What the hell?
Are you smoking weed?
He said something about the Avatar. This is James Cameron movie.
We're a little deep for us.
He's not kicking anybody out of the neighborhood, so he's not going to break the ties. Let's go to our phone line. We have another caller?
Yeah, let's...
that was fake deep, by the way.
What the hell was that? Okay.
Fake
was he
deep.
listening to the show? Let's go to Joe in Burbank. Joe, you're on the line. You're on Unstable.
So who you want to kick out the neighborhood? Who on the neighborhood watch?
You want to kick out aliens. That's what
Sheriff Clark or Malcolm Orr, brother?
Sheriff Clark, you got to go.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Man, he lost to the game. He lost to the game. And how you gonna back everything the president says?
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get in on the slick, man. I mean, just go on and go be with your master.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's true. He's dying. He's Steven from Django.
He's in the sunken place. That's what he is. Like you said, Steven from Django.
Who that nigga on that neck?
Massa, we sick.
You can flash that stuff on like all you want, and he ain't gonna respond. He's way below the second place right there.
So it looks like we come to a decision. We're going to kick out Mr. Clark out of our...
Don't call him Mr. He's
Sheriff
not a
Clark.
Mr.
Yeah, Sheriff Clark.
Well, don't even call him Sheriff, because Sheriff is a...
Let's call him Coon Clark.
Coon
Clark.
But you know what?
CC.
It's two more niggas that want to kick out the neighborhood.
Who that?
Michael Vick and Ray Lewis.
Oh, Ray Lewis, huh, you boo? You ain't gonna tell that story, huh?
I'm the only brother in my neighborhood. I don't mess with nobody. My only complaint is I wish I knew Spanish. That's it. I wish I knew Spanish so I could know what the hell my neighbors is talking about. That's it. For real, because when I hear them speak English, the shit they say concerns me. You know, it's like the other day I was about to go to the store and I saw a couple of them, working on a U-Haul truck. And one of them looked at me and said, "Hey, Holmes, how long you gonna be gone?" I'm like, what? Okay. Don't trust my neighbors. That's bad. I can't even sleep in my own house now. Every time I hear Spanish, I'm jumping up trying to hear what the hell they saying. I'm like, and sleep is important, especially when you start getting a little older. Sleep is important when you start talking to your friends about it like it's sex. And your friends are like, "Yo, man, what you do last night?" And you be like, "Man, I got some sleep last night." Man, I tore that bed up. I slept in every position. I slept so good, my bed called me at work today. Asked me to come home and take a nap. Y'all stupid.
Back on the Unstable Podcast, Michael, Steve Wilson, Torry, Guy Torry, and the beautiful Claudia Jordan hanging out. And oh my goodness, we went out to break and yeah.
There's a lot going on here.
You got guys trying to kick a guy on the neck and the hand.
Man. We were in an event and someone tried to kiss.
Hold on. We got to stop the recording. Something wrong with the phone lines. Look over there, Mike. Yeah. It's normally red. It's orange. Something wrong with the phone lines.
That is crazy.
Code orange?
Hold on, what?
This is President Donald J. Trump. Are we there? Hello, are you listening?
How did that happen?
The president.
I haven't talked to him in a while.
Hello? Claudia, you gave him the hotline number?
Oh.
How do you know?
Let me tell you something. Believe me, let me tell you something, okay? I've been listening to the show, and Claudia, so disappointed. Really?
Oh, why?
Really disappointed, okay? By the way, my beautiful Claudia, I made you. You'd be nothing if not for me, and now you're talking, you know, I see you on TMZ, okay? And by the way, TMZ doing very poorly. By the way,
I've been disappointed though. I've been disappointed. We had talks in your office, and you used to like Barack Obama.
We had a lot of great talks, believe me. And if you don't start speaking more respectfully, I'm going to tell people all about what went on in my office.
Oh, tell us.
No, I don't like white meat.
Well, you know what? You certainly seemed intrigued by this orange white meat. Okay? So let's not pretend like you weren't a lot friendlier. Now you're talking treason. False, and believe me, very disrespectful and completely false.
Jared Kushner that has had lots of meetings with lots of Russians has committed treason?
Yes, that's what I asked.
Isn't that kind of the definition of treason?
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
You think so?
I do.
Okay.
I think everyone in that cabinet has committed treason.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you kind of have a connect to Trump because you were on the show.
To be friends with Trump.
You don't, this isn't anything you think you should call him up about?
I'm not going to call Trump.
No? Why not? He might listen to you. You're a pretty girl.
He's not going to listen to me.
Oh, he called you? You didn't have to call him.
Oh, my God.
45. I'm sure you heard those comments.
You know what? You know what she says, we're friends, and does this sound like the talk of a friendly person? Believe me, this is, I made you. Okay, you're very beautiful. I mean, not saying beautiful things right now. It's kind of ugly how you're acting.
You know what, Donald? I'm disappointed in you because we used to be friends, and you were actually cool.
I'm in you, to be frank. Well, nobody gets more disappointed than me. I'm pretty much the greatest at being disappointed in you.
Well,
you can be disappointed with me, but it's not going to be that good.
But you know, Donald, you changed, and ever since you told me not to waste my time with black men, you offended me, and I just didn't really feel the same way about you.
He said that?
He said that?
Did.
You said that, Donald?
He said black men don't make money.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you know, there are some, okay? You know, I think Michael Jordan, very good friend of mine, by the way. We golfed together.
Donald Trump and Donald Sterling.
Woods, but he's only half. You know, I think it was the Asian half that made, to be quite honest, all the money. But
see, you say racist things all the time, and it's like, I can't write.
So what, you have little hands.
Donald, what's your obsession with Omarosa? Why is she in your cabinet?
Well, she's one of the best. She's my favorite African-American basically ever.
He used to talk shit about her all the time to me when we were friends, how ugly she was.
Wow. Hey, but Donald, did you see Omarosa? I just came back from New Orleans at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention, and actually she was defending you and your administration when she got into a heated exchange with Ed Gordon when she was on a panel there. We got some audio of it.
Sending a signal to this country that police don't have to.
Suggesting that I should walk away.
I'm suggesting you hear the rest of. I suggest you hear the rest of my question.
But I don't want to hear a lecture.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I tell you what. I did my best to try to keep this as civil as possible.
So Omarosa was defending. She didn't want to talk about your administration.
Yeah, I really didn't like the way she was treated, okay? And I never said she was an ugly lady, okay? That's more lies from Claudia.
Fake news, Claudia.
No, that's not true.
Fake news, Claudia.
You tell me she's great, but she's not that attractive like you.
Well, I mean, okay, right? I said she's not as attractive as me, but basically we're talking about very few people who are as attractive as me. So that's really, you're really spreading a lot of bad stuff.
Wow.
But I mean, the National Association of Black Journalists, is this even really a thing?
Hold up now. Wait a minute. That's what we talking about.
And basically they attacked her like it was Chicago, okay? I call that the National Association of Fake News Chicagos because they went after her unfairly and cruelly. And you know what? Fake news is just fake news, whether it's black, white, red, I don't care. Fake news.
Donald, it seems like fake news to you is anything that's negative towards you, like anything that kind of calls you out. You deem fake news. What do you say to that?
Basically, I mean, well, if it's fake, and they're not saying the great things that I've done. And what's sad is that, no, you're part of the fake news.
Wow.
Which is unbelievable. You know, I really am disappointed in you.
Well,
I thought you were better than this.
Well,
I
Donald,
thought you were one of the good ones, if I'm
one of the good. She's good, and I know you're saying you made her, but she's very successful. She's doing great things. She's in movies now. She's got her own wine line. She's even got her own makeup line, lipstick line. Do you have orange? You got orange?
No, but my lipstick line, I do have a burnt orange, and I named that Impeached.
Well, you know,
I'll send you some. You can give it to your bitches. You have several.
See, you won't let me speak because you know what you're saying is crazy. Crazy talk, fake news. You need more orange products. That's what the people want, okay? And
how's that Trump vodka doing?
I don't know who you're selling your stuff to, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go very poorly for you, okay?
Well,
really
thank
bad.
you for calling in 45, Mr. Donald J. Trump.
You can't call him president?
I'm not calling him president. Sorry, hey, I didn't vote for you, bro. Right. I didn't vote for you. So
thanks for calling in, nigga.
And that's you know what? That's the kind of language that me and my friends in Charlottesville are trying to get rid of.
Wow. You know what?
All right, Donald Trump. Donald Trump joined us on our first podcast.
Well, we know we have great guests.
Wow.
I mean, important guests.
Our first
orange nigga.
Well, he's a cracker, so he's a cheesehead.
You know, it's sad because before this, I really used to like him. Like, he used to be funny and cool when he was out of politics. But he's a different person now.
Well, when Obama became elected, we celebrated in the hood. Those people came out from under the hood.
Right.
They did.
That nigga won.
Claudia, what is it with men that are in your life one moment and then out of your life the next, and then you either dislike them or something? Relationships go bad with you and men.
Started with my daddy running out.
Oh,
the same
you know what?
Was a rolling stone.
Seriously. I can't
Wherever he bust a nut was his home.
Look at you laughing at my pain.
Oh,
you know what? I don't know. I'm a straight shooter. I don't really know what.
Do you have any tips for guys?
Here's what I like to say about Claudia. She's a great friend.
Thank you.
She's loyal.
Yeah.
She's funny. Obviously, you can see. She cooks. She's beautiful.
And I just found out
Very
today she got a bubble. I just saw that
She's
today.
beautiful. She's fine. She's all that. And,
I didn't know.
And she's proud to be 44 years old. And guys got to step to you correctly when they want to step to you. So let's do a segment.
Yeah.
Let's do a segment called. Remember back in the day when Michael Jordan was playing the Detroit Pistons?
Right.
Back in the day, the Detroit Pistons had this thing called the Jordan Rules.
Oh yeah.
Let's do a segment called the Jordan Rules. Tips on what it takes.
I like that.
Oh hell
to
yeah!
Get to Claudia if you're a man and you want to step to him. You got a tip. You got a Jordan rule for the
For
day?
a normal guy.
For a normal guy.
What's normal?
Like he work at the post office
Well,
third
no,
shift.
no.
Just a good dude.
But he's got, I'm pretty sure he's got to make some
FedEx man.
My longest relationship was with a guy from FedEx.
I know.
And he just got married last week.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
So do you have a tip? You have anything that?
So what are your?
Can you hear tears on the radio?
Daffy Clown.
So what are your Jordan rules?
You know what? Don't bother stepping to me if you haven't healed from whatever you have in your past. I seem to get guys that not just guys, friends that I have to fix or I have to wait for them to overcome something. And that's frustrating because I'm an Aries and I'm of a certain age. I'm 44. So I'm ready to go right now. Like if I find someone that I like, I'm rocking with them right away. Like I'm that chick that can go to Vegas with you and just get married on the weekend. I've done it before already. I'm like that. Like we don't need to do a long engagement. We don't have to do all that. Like I feel like in the animal kingdom, like they just sniff each other's asses and they like, no, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like when you know, well, not just sniff.
So you want a guy? You want a guy that's healed from his last relationship?
If you're healed, because like I have met some great guys, but they're like, oh my god, my girlfriend broke my heart in like 11. I'm like, when? 11th grade? Okay, nigga. That was like in 1984. Like it's time to move on. I get that a lot. I get like a great guy, wrong time.
What else you got for the guys?
Okay, we can see your tan line when you take your ring off your finger. So
I'll attest to that. My first marriage,
yeah. Let's not do that.
But I kept mine off so much that I never got a tan line.
Another one. Can you not send me dick pics unless it's really impressive? And then if you
what's impressive?
Well,
Yeah,
like,
what's some
I had
questions?
a guy that sent me something that was really ridiculous, but I already saw that dick on another porn site, so it wasn't even his dick.
Are you a stunt
Yeah,
dick?
it was a stunt dick, and
What's
I
that stunt
called
dick?
him out, then he deleted the whole
Ain't
chain.
nobody really doing that. Stop it.
I will show you.
No, you don't
No,
have
no,
to.
no. We'll take your word.
Never
We'll
mind, I
take your
believe you.
word.
I quit. I'm out.
And another thing, don't lie about your profession.
Guys still
Guys do that in L.A.? What?
Okay, I met a guy.
Ladies, I'm unemployed.
I was in Vegas. I met this guy. He was super good looking, sexy. He looked like he was like a former athlete. He said he flipped houses, like he does real estate. I'm like, I thought he was lying. I'm like, you're lying. Like, you're an athlete that doesn't want me to know you're an athlete. So anyways, he was cool, good looking. We had fun in Vegas gambling. And I ended up going home and Googling him. There was like, I hope he's not listening. There was like a huge like heroin ring, like drug bust.
What?
And he was named in it. And that was the guy that I was kind of talking
Was that my boy Shampoo?
No, his name was, he was fine.
Don't
too.
say his name.
Like, don't lie about your career. Like, there's some girls that will rock with that.
Wow, those are some really good tips.
There you have it, the
Those
Jordan
are
rules.
The Jordan rules right there. We're going to make
There you
this a weekly segment.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that.
I have
So
lots
tips
to
on how to
say.
step to a fine woman like Claudia Jordan.
Or a low self-esteem woman.
Because I kind of, people tell me that I act like an ugly girl.
You got fat brain?
No, but I could be.
It depends on who you're around.
I could be more demanding. Like, I feel like I'm a little bit easier than I should be as far as like I end up trying to prove myself to the man more than I'm making them prove themselves to me.
Yeah, that's
I'm like that. I'm like I'm very nurturing and giving and all that.
So
kind of stuff.
Claudia and I are both looking for love. We're both looking
Looking
to
for
find,
love
yeah.
in all the wrong places. Looking for love.
And I also want a man that, when it comes to spending money, and because I'm always the one that tricks off on men. I bought men rims and all kind of things. I spent a lot of money.
What?
The best sheets. I bought best sheets.
You get rim jobs?
No, I don't give rim jobs, but I have bought rims, and the man's car got repossessed. So that sucks.
With your rims on
With my
there?
$5,000 rims on there.
Whoa.
So I would like a guy to be like giving to me and not behave so niggardly.
There you go. That is our word of the day. And
There
as
we
we
go.
close out our first Unstable podcast, it is time for our takeaways from today. Let's start off with Steve. What did you take away from today's show, Steve?
Well, one I took away from my new sister here. I'm really shocked about it. She has a bubble. A lot of people know she's a single woman. She can cook, but she got a fat ass, and that threw me off when she walked in. So I just wanted to share with everybody that Claudia has a fat ass.
That's so, that's so deep. Thank you.
Guy.
You know what? I had another one, but I'm going to change it because hearing what one of her Jordan rules is like healing from a last relationship. And that's what I'm divorced, so I haven't healed from it. And that's one of my problems with moving on into another relationship because I'm afraid I'm going to ruin somebody else or disappoint them. So I need to start working on healing from my last relationship so I can get some really good new pussy.
You know, I have two friends that I think you'd be great with, especially one.
You tried that. I mean, I mean,
well, one that he kind of was talking to, but he
okay, but you tried to hook, and then all of a sudden she, come on, Claudia. I mean, can you hook me up first? I mean, I'm the one that's.
But I knew her first. I knew her longer.
Yeah.
So let me guess, is this a podcast so we can get money, or y'all just trying to get hooked up with her friends?
Well, yeah. Well, that's part.
I have
Well,
some
we
pretty
get the money, then maybe we can get some of her friends.
Exactly.
Maybe we can do
That's
that.
true.
Claudia, what you learn from today?
I'll go ahead and throw it to something that Steve said. You know, a lot of times people judge people that are no longer on shows or what have you, and they're very harsh. Like, oh, you got fired or you left, you ruined that. But no, I feel like, there's something to be said about people that stand up to principle and for what they believe in. And if they're not happy in a situation, then, you gotta make that move. And I think that's an admirable thing, but it's easy for us. We make jokes and stuff like that, and the internet can be really cruel about those kind of things. But, you take that's a good, life lesson. Like, if you're not happy about something, you got to make that move and step out on faith. And that applies to relationships, work, everything, because you never know what's right around the corner. There can be something way better.
Never sell your soul or your whole.
Oh, your hole?
Yeah, some people selling their whole.
Them former NFL players trying to buy your hole?
Yeah.
I'm talking about in Hollywood.
Your hole. Okay.
You're trying to get your hoe that one time.
Wasn't gonna happen.
I learned that I learned, first of all, Donald Trump made Claudia. I learned that.
He did. I was nothing before him.
Nothing. I never heard of Claudia Jordan before Donald Trump. And
I just thought she was niggardly. That's all I know.
I know we're crazy, but I didn't know we was this freaking crazy, man. We talked about Jews and Mexicans, rape. And heroin.
Fantasies.
No.
Heroin.
Rapey,
not rape.
and heroin kings. That's going to kill all of our asses right now because Claudia's calling them out.
He's
Hey,
sexy, though.
that is the Unstable Podcast. The first one is in the books. You guys had a lot of fun?
Yes, we did.
We did.
Absolutely. We will continue to do this every week right here on the Unstable Podcast. Well, unless, if we don't start making money, then this shit's going to be canceled.
Be quick, fast, and hurry.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
I'll be calling DL back. I have my job back.
That's selling your whole.